Modern dating apps have gamified human connection. With a few taps, anyone can curate a perfect, polished version of themselves. But that ease of creation also provides the perfect camouflage. You rarely know exactly who is sitting on the other side of the screen. In the spring of 2018, 27-year-old Dushyant Sharma was living a quiet, middle-class life in Jaipur. He was an engineer managing a local mining company, a son to a tight-knit family, and a married man expecting a new child. But Dushyant also maintained a secret digital life. On Tinder, he went by the name Vivan Kohli. According to his profile, Vivan was a wealthy, unmarried millionaire businessman operating out of Delhi. For Dushyant, this persona offered an escape route from the pressures of his domestic reality. While his wife was home pregnant, he could log in and instantly become a high-rolling bachelor, enjoying the attention his fabricated wealth attracted. He treated this fictional wealth as a harmless online fantasy. He didn't realize that presenting himself as an unprotected millionaire made him a glowing target. He had unknowingly built the exact profile that real-world predators look for when they go hunting. Priya Seth, also 27, was not looking for an escape on Tinder. She was looking for an opportunity. Coming from a respectable family, Priya had spent the last 6 years building an extensive criminal resume. She ran fraudulent escort services where she collected upfront fees and vanished. She blackmailed married men with false police reports. She had even been caught trying to break open an ATM with a gas cutter. This chart illustrates the financial crisis Priya was facing in early 2018. Along with her live-in boyfriend, Dushyant, she had accumulated a debt of 21 lakh rupees, roughly 2.1 million rupees. They were out of time and needed a massive influx of cash immediately. Rather than working off the debt, they decided to pull a high-stakes ransom job. They would use Tinder to locate a wealthy, isolated target, lure him to a private location, hold him hostage, and extort his family. Scanning the app for the perfect mark, Priya's screen landed on Vivan Kohli. The profile claimed he was a millionaire from Delhi. She swiped right. Dushyant thought his fake persona made him look impressive. Instead, that illusion of immense wealth acted as the perfect bait, pulling a desperate, seasoned con artist directly to his doorstep. On the evening of May 2, 2018, Dushyant told his family the police had seized a company truck and he had to sort it out. In reality, he was driving to meet Priya for what he thought was an intimate date. He arrived at Priya's rented flat in the Eden Garden complex, but the moment he walked through the door, the romantic illusion evaporated. Priya's boyfriend Dushyant and an accomplice named Goksha ambushed him from the shadows. They overpowered Dushyant, bound his hands and feet, and immediately demanded a massive ransom. They forced him to call his family and ask for 10 lakh rupees. Looking for immediate cash, the attackers tore through his pockets and pulled out his wallet. As they checked his physical government ID, the name printed was not Vivan Kohli. It was Dushyant Sharma. The kidnappers stared at the ID in disbelief. They hadn't captured a wealthy Delhi businessman. They had kidnapped a middle-class local manager who didn't have anywhere near the money they needed. By fabricating his wealth online, Dushyant had inadvertently signed his own death warrant. The moment his real identity was exposed, he lost all value as a hostage. He was now just a massive liability. Desperate to save his son, Dushyant's father pleaded with the kidnappers over the phone. He couldn't gather 10 lakhs, but he managed to break his fixed deposits and scrape together 3 lakh rupees to transfer to his son's account. Inside the flat, the attackers were doing the math. Dushyant lived in Jaipur. He had seen their faces, he knew where Priya lived, and he could easily lead the local police right back to them. They decided they couldn't risk letting him walk out the door. Before Dushyant's father even finished transferring the heavily depleted funds at the bank, Dushyant and Lakshya smothered Dushyant, and Priya handed them a knife. He was stabbed over a dozen times. The trio bought a large trolley suitcase, forced Dushyant's body inside, and drove into the night. They dumped the suitcase here, along the rocky, desolate stretches of the Delhi-Jaipur highway. The next morning, local police discovered the suitcase, and Dushyant's father officially reported him missing. The investigation launched immediately. This visualization breaks down how the police tracked the killers. Investigators pulled Dushyant's cell phone records, pinpointing his last known location near the Eden Garden flat. Cybercells recovered his Tinder chat logs, tying him directly to Priya Seth. Finally, an ATM camera caught Priya withdrawing 20,000 rupees using his stolen debit card. Within 48 hours, those overlapping data points led authorities straight to the suspects. Police intercepted and arrested all three at a local railway station as they prepared to flee. The killers had weaponized a digital platform to orchestrate their trap, but that very same digital ecosystem, the location pings, the chat servers, the banking networks, provided the undeniable trail of evidence that put them behind bars. In the interviews that followed her arrest, Priya's demeanor shocked investigators. She spoke freely about the murder, occasionally laughing, completely devoid of any guilt or remorse for the life she had just helped extinguish. She even attempted to justify her years of extortion. She claimed that by catfishing and robbing married men on dating apps, she was actually performing a public service, punishing husbands who were trying to cheat on their wives. Her justifications didn't sway the court. In November 2023, Priya, Dushyant, and Lakshya were all found guilty and sentenced to life imprisonment. This graphic shows the stark contrast between traditional incarceration and the Rajasthan open jail system, where Priya was eventually transferred. Instead of locked cells and armed guards, open jails operate like restricted communities. Inmates can move freely within the grounds, work jobs to earn money, and even build families, prioritizing reform over strict punishment. Inside this rehabilitative environment, Priya found a new partner. She met Hanuman Prasad, a man serving a life sentence for murdering his lover's husband. The two were granted parole and legally married each other. Dushyant's death serves as a brutal warning for the modern dating era. When you swipe right based on a fabricated profile, you don't know who is actually looking back at you. Behind that protective digital illusion, you might just invite a real-world predator into your life, and the consequences are final.